Hello and welcome to a new video review, this time about the Sightron SIII 10-50x60 long range. The company Sightron is already a pretty old company with almost 29 years in existence. It was founded in 1993 in North Carolina in the United States. And the headquarters is still there in the same location. The parent company of Sightron, named Kenko Tokina, which is located in Japan, has even a longer tradition of optics manufacturing, which goes all the way back to 1957. Sightron owns two production facilities. One of them is located in Japan and one in Philippines. And in the Philippines, Sightron produces mid-range and entry-level riflescopes and products, and in Japan only the premium products. What is also worth mentioning is that all of their products are entirely made in-house, so there is no manufacturing outside of their own company. Now, the S3 series of riflescopes, like the one I have here in front of me, is the second most expensive series of riflescopes from the company, and as Sightron is very well known, all of their scopes are great value for the price, so you really get a lot of features and great quality for the price. The S3 series are target and bench rest riflescopes, and the riflescope I have here in front of me is the S3 with the magnification from 10 times all the way up to 50 times, and the scope features a 60mm objective lens, so the image, even at a bit worse or not as good conditions, the image is still pretty bright, so that's why the 60mm objective lens. This is especially also noticeable on the biggest magnification, because some riflescopes get pretty dark on the biggest magnification, like 50, but with such a high or such a big lens, you can definitely see a bit of difference. The outside diameter of the objective is 69mm, which you will need for calculating the height of the mounting. And the scope is, as you can see, entirely made out of metal, except for this small rubberized part on the ocular. The scope is completely shockproof, so rated for even the strongest recoiling calibers, and it is nitrogen purged and waterproof. So nitrogen purged, that you can use it also in very cold environment and you will get no internal fogging. And yeah, it is completely sealed, so on the rain or something, you will get no water inside the riflescope. The scope is quite long, with 430mm, but for such a dimension, it is quite lightweight. It has only 853 grams, so the scope is also perfect for F-class target rifle shooting, where you have a weight limit. The main tube diameter of this scope is 30mm. Because the S3 is a premium product from Sightron, it is completely made in Japan. It has 10 years of warranty, but I have to mention that we sold a lot of Sightron riflescopes and almost never get some riflescope back for repairs. It's very, very rare. And the price point, which is the most interesting part for this riflescope, is $1,700 euro approximately, which is for such a high quality Riflescope a reasonable price in my opinion. There is another version of this scope with the zero stop function, which is additional 25 euros. The reticle is positioned in the second focal plane, as it is usual for a target Riflescope. And all in all, there are 3 reticles available. The MOA2, which is in this particular Riflescope here, and target dot and fine cross are also available. The MOA2 reticle is this one here, and as you can see, it has marks inside the reticle. These are MOA marks, but because the Riflescope is in the second focal plane, these marks are true only on 24 times magnification. So at 24 times magnification you can use this reticle for bullet drop, or calculating the distances, or correction, calling the correction of the impact. For the reticle, as you can see, here is the data, where you can see that MOA is MOA only at 24 times magnification. The scope has no reticle illumination, which is again usual for a target Riflescope, and depending on the reticle you get clicks either in quarter MOA or in 1/8 of MOA. Because this Riflescope has the MOA2 reticle, it features this tactical turret. As you can see here, it has the tactical version of the turret, but more of it later when we come to the turrets. The scope has also adjustable parallax, which is located on this side here. It goes from 13 yards or 12 meters all the way to infinity, and as you could notice, you have to do almost an entire revolution to come from the smallest to the biggest, or to the maximal parallax, which is perfect because you can really fine-tune the parallax to your target. This is important, especially at long-range shooting, that you can adjust the parallax perfectly on a given distance. The parallax wheel feels very smooth. It is a bit stiff, which I personally like, and yeah, it's really easy to operate with it. Now for the construction. The scope features a European style eyepiece, so you can adjust only this outer part here. Also, this feels very smooth, and also again quite stiff, which is also in my opinion perfect because you really rarely have to adjust the eyepiece. Then the magnification ring. It goes from in this case from the biggest magnification to the smallest in 180 degree, and also the magnification ring feels very smooth but a little bit stiff. The main tube is, as I previously mentioned, 30 millimeters. And now for the turrets. These are, as I said before, tactical turrets, which means you can directly adjust the elevation and windage. But there is also a version available with capped turrets, like this one, where you have to remove the caps to adjust the turrets, but more of it after I show you the tactical ones. Now the tactical turrets have clicks in 1/4 MOA, so the target version is designed for even more precision adjustments, and the clicks on this turret, as you can hear, are very tactile and they feel very positive, so really nice clicks on this tactical turret here. In one revolution of the turret you can make 10 MOA of travel, and the entire elevation range, but also the windage range, is 50 MOA. So if you want to shoot, let's say with a 308 to approximately 600-700 meters, I think it will be enough. But if you want to use the scope even at longer distances, or you have a caliber which has even more bullet drop, I would prefer you use a mount with inclination. 10, 15 or even 20 MOA of inclination would be perfect. Now again to the turret, the clicks feel really nice, and as you can already see, under the turret are these lines which are a turn indicator. From the shooter's perspective, they are nicely visible, and I think for a target riflescope, I think this solution is really good. Zeroing of this turret is very simple. When you're on the range and you made your adjustment, let's say somewhere here at 1 MOA in this case, you just have to unscrew the upper screw here and in the same time hold the turret like this, and then the whole turret already rotates. So you just have to simply rotate that the zero is facing forwards, hold the turret so that it does not move, and simply screw or tighten the screw back in. Like this, your turret is already set. So a really easy solution. The rotation is counterclockwise, which is I think mostly used on all riflescopes which are not produced in Europe, and it is a multi-turn turret, so you can make all in all 5 revolutions. But again, if you use the scope without inclination, with normal rings, you will get approximately 25 MOA of travel through the scope. Now for the windage, zeroing is completely the same as on the elevation turret, and you have 5 MOA in both directions to adjust. So on the turret are 5 MOA in each direction, but also the Windage Turret is a multi-turn turret, so you can make multiple revolutions in each directions. All in all, again 5 revolutions, so you come to the 50 MOA of travel. The scope is also available with capped turrets, so the same like these are, and under these caps are quite different turrets, which are these. So the camera can focus, which are target turrets. So they are more fine. The clicks are not as strong as on the tactical turrets, and the clicks are in 1/8 of MOA, so much more precise clicks on a tactical turret. Maybe you can hear again the clicks. Which are very nice in my opinion. They're very audible and also quite tactical, so you can really easily feel every single click. Zeroing of the target turret is also really simple. You just have to unscrew the 3 screws and the turret already rotates, so you just can make that the zero is facing forwards, tighten the screws back in, and you're already set. The same is with the Windage Turret. It has also really nice and audible clicks. And you have numbers from 1 to 9, so 10 MOA of travel. So you have 10 MOA of travel in one rotation, and you can make again 50 MOA all in all. The one thing which I don't really like about this turret is that the numbers are going only in one direction. So if you want to go to the other side, you have to count from 9 is 1, 8 is 2, and so on. But in most cases it's not a problem when on the target shooting. If you choose the target version of this Riflescope, everything else stays the same, only the turrets are different. Okay, now for the optical performance of this Riflescope. As I previously said, for the price, it is a really great scope, and I think it is the perfect scope if you don't want to spend too much on a Riflescope. The tracking is one of the most known aspects on Sightron Riflescopes that works perfectly, and there is no shift even on the highest elevation or windage adjustments. So for the price, I think really I have to mention this. Now for the field of view, at the 10 times magnification it's 3.2 meters at 100 meters, and on the biggest magnification, on 50 times, it's 0.73 meters at 100 meters. The scope has no tunneling effect, and it has a very forgiving eye relief, which goes from 96.5 to 114 millimeters, and this depends on the magnification, but as I said, it has a very forgiving eye relief. You can really move around and you will still have a nice picture. The same is with the eye box. It has a really good eye box. So again, you can move left, right behind the scope, and you will still have a nice picture. So you are not the black shades in the image. Of course, on the biggest magnifications, it is not as good as on the smallest, but it is still very good. The image resolution, color accuracy are both very good, and I think the optical performance can be compared even to more expensive Riflescopes on the market. Okay, now what comes with the scope in the box? First of all, you get flip-up covers for objective and ocular. Then you get a cleaning cloth, instruction manual with all the information you need about the scope, a zeroing tool, and this additional sheet where all the data is about the reticle. So depending which reticle you choose, you get the right paper with the scope. Okay, now for a short summary. First of all, the positives about the scope. I think the scope is, for the price, really well made. So it has a good build quality. It has a great optical quality. The clicks are really nice on the tactical and on the target turrets. they are both tactile, and the Z-ring is really easy, so you can do it in a matter of seconds. I'd like that you have the option of an optional zero stop if you like it. It is very simple. It's just a on the bottom side of the turret, which you have to screw, then the part goes up and down and the turret comes to the part, and this is your zero stop. So a really simple but effective design of the zero stop. The parallax is really nice because it goes almost the entire revolution, so for fine-tuning on a target at bigger distances, perfect. And lastly, what I mentioned a few times already, the price to performance ratio is very good. Where do I see room for improvements? First of all, if you choose to have a tactical style turret, you have no option with finer clicks, so the only option is with quarter MOA clicks. So I think the tactical turret could be easily made also with 1/8 of MOA clicks. The second room for improvement, in my opinion, is that this scope has no mil version, so the clicks in 0.05 mil would be also really nice. And lastly, the elevation range, because if you want to use it at very long distances, you have to purchase a mount with inclination. With 50 MOA, with a 308, the maximal shooting range, I think, is about 800 meters or maybe 900 with some good BC bullets and great velocity. Now, for the competition, I have to say in this price there is only one Riflescope as for the competition, which is the Delta Optical Striker HD. I think the Delta has better turrets and it has a mil version available, and the Reticle comes already with Illumination, but it is much heavier, which is not ideal if you want to use it on a F-class target rifle. So if you have a weight limitation, I think the Delta is too heavier, much more heavier. I think it's around 250 or 300 grams of a difference. And the Delta is also a bit more expensive, I think for approximately 50 euros. All in all, I think for the price, the Sightron is the perfect scope for F-class adventurous precision shooting if you don't want to invest even more for a rifle scope. And except for the Delta optical, it has almost no competition in this price range. So yeah, it is a really nice scope in my opinion. Okay, this was a short video review of the Sightron SIII 10-50x60 long range. If you have any additional questions, click the link below, and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.